Hello, and welcome back to the Best English Podcast. I'm your host, Olivia.
And I'm James. It's so great to be with you all again today. Olivia, you seem extra happy today. What's going on?
I am. I had a great weekend. I finally finished that TV series everyone was talking about. You know, the ones set in London.
Oh, nice. The one with all the detectives? I tried to watch the first episode, and honestly, I felt a little lost.
Lost? What do you mean? Did you not like the story?
The story seemed interesting. The problem was they spoke so fast. It felt like a whirlwind of words. I was sitting there trying so hard to catch every single word, and by the time I understood one sentence, they were already 3 sentences ahead. It was exhausting.
Oh, I know that feeling. I think every single English learner on the planet has felt that exact same way. It's that moment of panic, right? Your brain just freezes.
Exactly. Panic is the perfect word. You start thinking, my English is terrible. I've studied for years and I still can't understand this. It's really discouraging.
It is. And you know what? That exact feeling is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to pull back the curtain on fast English. We'll talk about why it sounds so fast and, most importantly, give you some real practical strategies to understand it better.
Oh, that's fantastic. This is a therapy session for me then, because honestly, it's the biggest challenge for so many learners. You can read English perfectly, you can write emails, but when you have to listen to a native speaker talking at a normal, natural speed, it's a completely different game.
It's a huge game changer. And I think the first thing we need to do is change our mindset. James, when you were watching that show, what was your goal?
My goal? To understand what they were saying?
Okay, fair enough. But were you trying to understand every single word?
Yes, absolutely. I felt like if I missed one word, I would miss the whole point. I was trying to translate everything in my head as they spoke.
And that right there is the first big mistake we all make. It's this idea of perfectionism. We feel like we need to understand 100% of what we hear. But let me ask you this. When you listen to someone speaking your native language, do you actively listen and process every single word?
That's a great question. Now that I think about it, no, probably not. I just sort of get the meaning. My brain fills in the gaps. If someone says, hey, I'm heading to the place with all the books, I immediately know they mean the library or a bookstore. I don't get stuck on the word they forgot.
Exactly. You focus on the gist, the main idea. And we need to give ourselves permission to do the same thing in English. It is completely okay not to understand every single word. The goal is not 100% comprehension. The goal is communication and understanding the main message.
So rule number 1 is stop trying to be perfect. Let go of the need to understand every single word. That already takes a lot of pressure off.
It really does. And the second part of that is to stop translating in your head. It's a natural habit, especially for beginners and intermediate learners. But think about it. It's impossible. A native speaker talks, you hear it, your brain tries to translate it to your language, you understand it, and then you try to think of a reply in your language, translate it back to English. By the time you do all that, the conversation has moved on 5 minutes ago.
You just described the first year of my English learning journey. It's like you're constantly buffering, like a slow internet connection.
A perfect analogy. Your brain is buffering. So the challenge is to start thinking in English, even if it's simple thoughts. When you're listening, you have to force yourself to stay in the English zone. Don't allow your brain to switch back to your native language.
Okay, so the mindset is let go of perfection and stop translating. That's the foundation. But what about the practical side of it? Why does English actually sound so fast? It's not like they're speaking more words per minute than other languages, right?
That's the million-dollar question. And the answer is something called connected speech. This is probably the single biggest secret to understanding fast English. In textbooks, we learn words individually. How are you? I am fine.
Right. Each word is a separate, clear sound, like building blocks, laid out one by one.
Exactly. But in real life, native speakers don't talk like that. We squish words together. The end of one word flows into the beginning of the next. The sounds change. It's not like separate building blocks. It's more like melted chocolate, all flowing together.
Melted chocolate, I like that. It sounds delicious, but also messy. So, what are some examples of this connected speech?
There are a few key types. The first one is linking. This is when a word ending in a consonant sound is followed by a word starting with a vowel sound. For example, turn off. We don't say turn off, we say it like one word, turn off. The N sound links to the O sound.
Ah, okay, like read it. We don't say read it. It becomes read it. The D sound links to the I sound.
Precisely. Or think about an apple. We don't say an apple, it smooths into an apple. This happens all the time, and if you're listening for two separate words, you'll never hear them. Your brain is looking for a gap, a pause, that just isn't there.
That makes so much sense. So your brain is waiting for the word "an" to end, but it never really does because it just flows right into apple. Wow. Okay, what's another type?
Another huge one is reductions. This is where we get lazy with our vowel sounds in unstressed words. The most famous examples are words like to, for, and are. We almost never pronounce them fully.
Oh, you mean like when people say wanna instead of want to?
Exactly. Wanna for want to, gonna for going to, gotta for got to. These aren't just slang. This is how most native speakers talk in everyday informal conversation. We also reduce you to ya. So, what are you going to do becomes
What you gonna do? Or what are you gonna do?
yes. Look at that. You went from 5 clear words, what are you going to do, to something that sounds like 1 or 2 mashed up words. What you're going to do. If you're a learner listening for the full 5 words from your textbook, you will feel completely lost. You'll think, what was that word? I've never heard it before. But you have. It was just in its reduced, natural form.
This is blowing my mind. It's like learning a secret code. So we have linking and reductions. What else is in this secret code?
Laughing. The next level of the code is dropped sounds. Sometimes we just get lazy and don't pronounce a sound at all, especially T and D sounds when they're stuck between other consonants. Think of the word and. In the phrase rock and roll, do you ever hear the D in and?
No, never. It's rock and roll. The D is gone.
It's gone, vanished. Or think about the word exactly. I bet most of the time when I say it, I don't pronounce the T. I say exactly. Or I must go. It often sounds like I must go.
This explains so much. We're trained to listen for these specific sounds to identify a word, but in reality, native speakers are often just leaving them out. It's no wonder it's confusing.
It's incredibly confusing until someone points it out to you. Once you are aware of connected speech, the linking, the reductions, the dropped sounds, you can start to listen for it. You stop listening for individual words and start listening for these connected sound chunks.
So how do we practice this? It's one thing to know it exists, but how do we train our ears to actually hear it and understand it?
That is the perfect question. This brings us to the active strategies. The first, and maybe the most powerful, is to use materials that have a transcript. A transcript is the written text of the audio,
Like the subtitles on a movie.
exactly like subtitles. But it's even better with podcasts or audio lessons where you can get the full text. Here's a method I recommend to all my students. Let's call it the listen, read, listen again method.
Okay, I'm listening. Break it down for us.
Step 1, listen. Find a short piece of audio, maybe 1 to 3 minutes long. A clip from a podcast, a scene from a TV show, anything. Just listen to it once or twice. Don't worry about understanding everything. Just try to get the main idea. Who is talking? What is their mood? What is the general topic?
Okay, so the first pass is just for the gist. No pressure. I like that.
Step 2, read. Now get the transcript or turn on the English subtitles. Read the text while you listen to the audio at the same time. This is where the magic happens. Your brain will start to connect the sounds you are hearing with the words on the page. You'll have aha moments like, oh, so that's how "what are you going to" sounds in real life.
I see. You're matching the melted chocolate sound to the individual building block words. You see the reduction gonna, and you hear how it sounds, connecting the written word to the spoken sound.
You've got it. You'll see where words link together. You'll notice the sounds that are dropped. It's like a detective solving a mystery. You're figuring out the clues of connected speech. You can pause, rewind, and listen to a tricky phrase 10 times if you need to.
And what's the final step?
Step 3, listen again. Now, turn off the subtitles or put the transcript away. Listen to the same audio clip one more time. I promise you it will sound completely different. You will understand so much more. It will sound clearer and maybe even a little slower because your brain now knows what to expect. It recognizes the patterns of connected speech.
That sounds incredibly effective. It's an active process. You're not just passively letting the English wash over you, you're engaging with it, breaking it down, and putting it back together.
It's the difference between being a passenger in a car and being the driver. When you're just listening, you're a passenger. When you use this method, you're the one driving. You're in control.
I love that. So find short audio with a transcript and use the listen, read, listen again method. What's another strategy we can use?
Another great strategy is to focus on keywords. Remember how we said you don't need to understand every word? Well, some words are more important than others. These are usually the nouns, the main verbs, the adjectives, and the adverbs. These are the words that carry the most meaning.
So words like beautiful, car, yesterday, walked, quickly, not the small grammar words like the, at, is.
Exactly. Those small grammar words are often the ones that get reduced and are hard to hear anyway. If you hear a sentence and you only catch yesterday, big dog, park, happy, you can probably guess the meaning, right?
Yeah, you can piece it together. Yesterday, someone saw a big dog in the park and it was happy, or they had a happy time with a big dog in the park yesterday. You get the picture, even if you miss the small words in between.
You get the picture, and that's the goal. Train your ear to listen for the stressed words, the key words that carry the information. Your brain is smart enough to fill in the rest of the details from the context. Don't panic about missing is or at. Focus on catching dog and park.
That's such a practical tip. It connects back to letting go of perfectionism. Just grab the important pieces of information and move on. Speaking of which, what do you do when you do miss a word and you start to panic?
Ah, the panic moment. We've all been there. The most important thing to do is keep listening.
Don't stop.
Don't rewind in your head and try to figure it out.
Do not stop. The moment you pause to think about the word you missed, you're going to miss the next 5 words. It's a chain reaction. You miss one, you get frustrated, you focus on your frustration, and suddenly the entire conversation is gone.
It's so true. Your internal monologue starts. What was that word? It started with a P. Was it problem or purple? I don't know. And while you're having that debate in your head, the speaker has already finished their story.
Exactly. So you have to train yourself to just let it go. Missed a word? Oh well. Keep your ears open for the next one. Often, the rest of the sentence or the next sentence will give you a clue about what you missed. The context will save you, but only if you keep listening.
So be like a surfer. If you miss a wave, you don't stop and stare at it. You immediately start looking for the next one.
What a perfect metaphor. Yes, be a listening surfer. Always be ready for the next wave of information.
Okay, this is all fantastic advice. Let's talk about materials. What should people be listening to? You mentioned TV shows and podcasts. Does it matter what we choose?
It matters a lot. My number one rule is choose something you enjoy. If you hate politics, don't try to learn by listening to the news. If you love cooking, watch cooking shows. If you're into video games, watch gamers on Twitch or YouTube.
That makes sense. If you're interested in the topic, you'll be more motivated to understand it. You'll also probably know a lot of the vocabulary already, which makes it easier.
It makes a huge difference. Your motivation is your fuel. If learning feels like a chore, you'll stop doing it. If it feels like fun, you'll keep coming back for more. Also, when you're familiar with a topic, you have more context to help you understand.
And it's probably best to start small, right? I tried to watch a 2-hour movie and it was overwhelming.
Absolutely. Start with bite-sized content. Bite-sized means small and easy to manage. 5-minute YouTube clips, a 3-minute podcast segment, a single scene from a TV show. The goal is quality of listening, not quantity. It's better to listen to the same 5-minute clip 3 times with the transcript than it is to passively listen to a 2-hour movie you don't understand.
Quality over quantity. I like that. What about accents? That was part of my problem with the British show. I'm so used to American English from movies.
Accents are a big hurdle, but they're also a beautiful part of the language. My advice here is to embrace the variety. Don't just listen to one type of accent. In the beginning, maybe you want to stick with one to get comfortable, like Standard American or Standard British, RP. But as you get more advanced, you need to expose your ears to different sounds.
So listen to podcasts from Australia, watch interviews with Irish actors, find YouTubers from Scotland or Canada.
Yes, the more accents you expose yourself to, the more flexible your listening skills will become. Your brain will learn to recognize that the vowel sound in car might sound different in Boston versus London, but the word is still the same. It makes your brain a more powerful and adaptable listening machine.
That's really encouraging. It's not just about learning one correct English, but learning to understand world Englishes. Okay, I have one more technique I've heard about that I want to ask you about. It's called shadowing. It sounds a bit mysterious. What is it?
Oh, shadowing. This is a fantastic technique, especially for improving your own speaking and pronunciation, which is directly linked to your listening. Shadowing is simple. You listen to a speaker and you repeat what they say in real time, just a split second behind them.
So you're like their shadow verbally. You're literally talking at the same time as them.
Almost. You're maybe half a word behind. The goal is to copy everything, not just the words, but the rhythm, the intonation, the music of the language, the pauses, and the connected speech. You're trying to sound exactly like the person you're listening to.
That sounds incredibly difficult.
It is at first. You'll feel silly and your mouth won't be able to keep up. That's why you start with very short, slow audio, maybe just one sentence. Pause it, and try to shadow it. Then try it again without pausing. The point isn't to be perfect. The point is to train your mouth to make the same shapes and sounds as a native speaker.
And how does that help with listening?
It helps in a huge way because it builds a powerful connection between your ears and your mouth. When you physically practice making the reduced sound of gonna, your brain becomes much better at hearing and recognizing it when someone else says it. You understand the connected speech because you've produced it yourself.
Wow. It's like muscle memory for your mouth and ears. You're not just intellectually understanding that want to becomes wanna, you're physically feeling it.
That's the perfect way to put it. You're feeling the rhythm of the language. So much of understanding fast English is about rhythm and stress, not just individual words. Shadowing is the best exercise for that.
So let's do a quick recap of all these amazing strategies. I feel like I've just attended a masterclass.
Let's do it.
First, we talked about mindset. The two big rules are let go of perfectionism, it's okay not to understand 100%, and stop translating in your head. Stay in the English zone.
Perfect. Then we uncovered the big secret of why English sounds fast. Connected speech. We learned about linking consonants to vowels, reducing unstressed words, and dropping sounds.
Then we moved on to the active listening strategies. My favorite was the listen, read, listen again method using a short audio clip and its transcript. That seems like a game changer.
It really is. And to go with that, we have the strategy of focusing on key words, the nouns and verbs that carry the meaning, and not panicking about the small grammar words.
And if you do panic because you missed a word, the rule is to keep listening. Be a surfer and catch the next wave. Don't get stuck on the one you missed.
Fantastic summary. Then for materials, the advice is to choose something you enjoy and to start with bite-sized content. And don't forget to listen to a variety of accents to make your ears more flexible.
And finally, the advanced technique for both listening and speaking, shadowing. Imitating a native speaker to really feel the rhythm and connected sounds of the language.
Wow. When you lay it all out like that, it feels really manageable, doesn't it? It's not some impossible mountain to climb. It's a series of small, practical steps that anyone can take.
It really does. It makes me want to go back and try watching that British detective show again, but this time with a totally different approach. I'll watch a 5-minute scene, turn on the English subtitles for the second viewing, and just focus on catching the keywords and listening for the connected speech. I won't pressure myself to be perfect.
That is the perfect plan. And that's what we want all our listeners to do. Don't feel discouraged. Don't think your English is bad just because you can't understand a fast movie. Your English is not the problem. Your strategy might be the problem. By changing your strategy, you can change everything.
It's so empowering. And remember, everyone, this is a process. It takes time. Your ears need training just like your muscles when you go to the gym. You won't be able to lift the heaviest weight on day one. Be patient and be kind to yourself.
That is the most important advice of all. Celebrate the small victories. Did you understand the gist of a song for the first time? Amazing! Did you watch a YouTube clip and only need the subtitles for half of it? That's a huge success. Acknowledge your progress.
Absolutely. And the more you listen, the easier it gets. It's a skill that builds on itself. Your brain creates a library of sounds and patterns, and soon you'll be understanding things without even consciously trying. That melted chocolate of sound will start to taste like individual, delicious ingredients.
I love that we're ending on the chocolate metaphor. It's perfect.
The key is to just keep tasting, keep listening, and keep learning.
Well, this has been an incredibly helpful conversation, Olivia. I personally feel so much more confident about tackling fast English now.
I'm so glad, James, and I hope all of you listening feel the same way. This is something you absolutely can do. You have the tools now.
We'd love to hear from you all. What is the biggest challenge you face when listening to fast English? And which one of these tips are you most excited to try first? Leave a comment below if you're watching on YouTube. We read every single one.
Yes, please do. Your stories and experiences help the whole community learn and grow together. Thank you so much for joining us on the Best English podcast today. Keep practicing, stay curious, and be patient with your progress.
You've got this. Until next time, happy learning.